The Ravens introduced OBJ last week. You now have a trio of OBJ, Rashad Bateman, a cold weather receiver Ike and I really liked out of Minnesota when he was coming out of the draft, and then Mark Andrews. You've got a great trio. The petty Steelers fan in me says, hey, congratulations, Tyler Huntley. What do you make of the news with the Ravens signing OBJ?
Yeah, you been petty.
Yeah.
Petty Mark. And I don't even blame you, man. Like this thing has been such a clown foolery type thing this entire offseason. Everybody's over it. Everybody's tired of it. And it makes you want to say that because as soon as they low-tendered Lamar, I instantly said, that's it. He's not coming back. There's no way he's going to come back and play underneath the low-tender contract. And I don't even blame him. I set out if I was him, I would have set the whole thing out. But I once they signed OBJ, don't forget they got Aguilar too. They went and got him from the Patriots. But you got Aguilar now, OBJ, and you got Bateman, and then you still got a couple of other guys like Duvernay that made big plays for him and too, man. But as soon as they signed OBJ, I was like, maybe there's hope because there's no way OBJ, a veteran receiver, would take a job like the Baltimore Ravens, not knowing who their quarterback is going to be. And
he got his 15. He was looking for 15.
I said that too. I said that too. Now look, that's the only other reason. That's the only other reason I said maybe it was just about the money for OBJ. He gonna get that 15 mil. When nobody else gonna give it to him. The man done been hurt 2 years in a row. Didn't even play last year at all. Now he's coming back, which I highly recommended for him to do, to take last year's season off after that second knee injury to try to really rehab the right way. They always rush us back and we come back not as healthy as we should be and end up getting re-injured. And that's probably why he got hurt last time anyway. But I think Tim taking the last year off was huge for him and being able to rehab this entire time and build up the muscles. But I said the exact same thing. There's only two reasons this man would take this contract with the Baltimore Ravens is because he finna hit for 15 mil, which is only 7 mil after taxes. We both know that, right? He gonna get 7 mil. He gonna get 7 mil cash in his bank account, and he gonna get a chance to go play for one of the most elite teams in the country, and still may have a chance to win the Super Bowl, regardless of Lamar Jackson come back or not. Just because the Ravens defense is that potent, and I think they're gonna get better this year. I really do. I believe they're gonna be a lot better defense this year. But I think he either gambling on the money, or he only took it because he knew hands down that Lamar is gonna sign.
So who's the quarterback then, if not Lamar? Is it Huntley? Because the Ravens don't pick till number 22.
I don't know. That's a great question, man. And the Ravens are they have always been such a detail-oriented organization from top to bottom. And Steve Bisciotti told me to my face one time, if you let me go one-on-one with anybody in this world in any business, I'm going to win. If you let me put 100% of myself in anything, I'm going to win. That's the owner of the Ravens saying that. So when you hear something like that, you know that they thought this thing out upside down, all around, inside out. Dave was very, very, very quiet as far as the offseason transitions and who they picked up and who they brought in. And the Ravens are usually busy, making huge transitions. So this draft is going to be huge for them. And when I say huge for them, it's not always about who they're going to draft with the Ravens. They'll take those picks and they'll use them. They'll move them around and they'll be on the phone talking to other teams the entire time through the draft. We'll draft this guy and trade him to you for this guy. He might end up with something. We might end up with somebody else's starting quarterback that they was planning on starting this year. It could be anybody. You just never know with the Ravens. They have thought this thing out a million different ways this Sunday. If they got Lamar and if they lose Lamar, they've thought this out. They're willing to depart with him to make a good business decision because it's all about business at the end of the day. We get caught up as players as loyalty because we've been trained that since we was 5 years old. We always been loyal, and we really forget that this is a freaking business, and they run it like a business, and we trying to be loyal. And they don't care about you being loyal. All they care about is if the bottom line dollar, how much it's going to cost me to do this, how can we stay underneath the cap? How can we make this business profitable long in and still fill those seats? Okay, so it's a business for the Ravens. It's loyalty for Lamar. He's still a young man, not realizing that whole process, and he allowed the business to play him on this back end, on the front end and the back end of things right now.
Well, when you doing them contracts, and that's what I think I learned early, like – I sat in on my contracts and it hurt. And they tell you everything you can't do. And you and the reason why they're telling you that, because they don't want to pay you. Eventually, y'all going to meet up in the middle and y'all going to wind up working it out. You just got to be smart about where you at. You can't look at nobody else's money. You got to understand, hey, I'm comfortable with this on my own. I can't look at somebody else and be like, man, I should get what so-and-so get. You got to be comfortable in that. So Lamar not having a representative, he's seeing the real true business side of this business, and they're telling him everything he can't do, and he's like, "But man, I'm the perfect," and he's the perfect person. Goes into the organization up and down, whether it's the general manager or whether it's the janitor. Everybody loved Lamar in that building. Nobody has nothing bad to say about Lamar in that building. It's just when it comes down to that money, I figured it out earlier than later. When they talking that business, you can't take it personal, and even though it do hurt, it hurts bad. I think you said it best, D. There's loyalty with us, but it's business. When you come down to the owners and the GMs, that's just the way the game goes. So Lamar not having that representation, he's getting the dark side. He's getting the Joker side of a lot of these of how these owners and GMs think. When you have a agent, they can mask, they can finesse, they would know how to tell you, hey, we're a couple of million off right here. This is what they saying, but let's wait it out. But when you representing yourself, you get straight Joker side from these billionaires, and they've been billionaires for a reason. It's a reason why they're billionaires. So Lamar, in my mind, I think he did everything on and off the field for a franchise player. Now he's just in the business side. So when you represent yourself, especially at that position, it's a lot of guys who D-Hop represent himself when it comes down to contracts, but he's not a quarterback. When you play in that quarterback position and you're trying to get $250 million in 4 or 5 years, the representation of talk's going to be a little bit different between a receiver or a corner. You feel me? So that's just my personal opinion about Lamar. I think Lamar did everything he needed to do on and off the field.
Right.
I think the team love him, the front office love him. It's just from a representation part, he's seeing the Joker side of this business. And I would say he would have to get out his feelings, but that's hard for me to say for him. It was easy for me to do because I did understand that business side. But the faster you can understand, okay, man, this is a business. Let me go on to put my business suit on, so say, and work things out. But him not getting that max franchise deal, man, I think that played with his mind a lot because Lamar felt like he did everything he needed to do. In this business, it's not what have you done for me lately. It's what can you do for me from this point on. Even though Lamar do have a league MVP, his resume look real nice. The young man resume. I'm talking about wins and losses, everything, percentage throws. Yeah, the man. What he's asking for, he deserved. But they feel a certain way about it. So
I mean, you said it right. You said it right 100%, man. Like I look at negotiating contract like a guy talking to his girlfriend or a husband talking to his wife. The wife is going to tell you all the things that you're not doing right, and you're trying to tell her all the things that you're doing right. So it's like, look, these are the things that I'm doing right. Like I deserve to be treated a certain way as the man. And the wife can be like, yeah, but I want this, because women need a million different things from you. So the team is the woman in this whole situation. They need a million things from you. And they preach consistency, right? Sense of urgency. They preach consistency and you going out there and putting your body and your life on the line every single play for this organization. And then when it comes time for you to reap your benefits from it, then you have to get slapped in the face with all the things that you didn't do, even though you went and did a million things right. You still didn't wash the dishes after I cooked every single time. And so now I'm in trouble. Now, all right, so I get punished because I didn't wash the dishes every time. Okay, cool. I didn't take the trash out enough. Okay, cool. Right. And that's kind of what it is. He got to get hit in the face with anything that they can pull from that he wasn't able to do. You only won one playoff game. You've been hurt 2 years in a row, even though it was a high ankle sprain and a knee sprain. Come on, it wasn't like a real injury. So it's like now you're injury prone. Now I get labeled injury prone, and I didn't even do anything. I didn't do anything really to get hurt. In the pocket. Yeah, mind you, the first year.
My thing is with these quarterbacks, how they talk about us quarterbacks is I didn't get injured scrambling. I got injured sitting in the pocket.
Absolutely. And I got and my whole offensive line was hurt, and my running backs was all out too that year.
So I'm working on damn near my fourth running back.
You're six. You're six running back.
All right, my sixth running back. Yeah. Me, I'm talking about me, you, Daniel, and Mark outside playing receiver. Okay.
I'll take the slot, Ike.
Right. And this how y'all gonna talk to me in the offseason?
Yeah.
Okay, man. I feel very disrespected because when you look at it, if you look at a Daniels who's sitting up there with the Giants, Coach Brian revamped his career. If you looked at what they did with what's my guy from Buffalo? I'm drawing a blank quarterback.
Josh Allen.
Josh Allen, what they did, put pieces around him because we was on our way to say, we was kind of confused about him. Then when you go to Justin Herbert, you see what he got. He got a hell of a mix when it comes down to a receiver and a running back. When it comes down to
right.
So when Patrick Mahomes, so that's all Lamar was saying. Lamar was like, "Bro, can y'all please give me something to work with? Because I'm looking at these other quarterbacks, and they was on their way to being, we don't know, to the organization and the team's been like, you know what, let's put some pieces around our quarterback and let's see what he can do. If they can do that for Lamar, if they would have been done that for Lamar, let's put some studs. All right, we got a stud tight end. Let's get a stud receiver or two. And we can't help that we was working on our fourth running back because the fourth running back, man, that's saying a lot about Lamar. So, I mean, I'm just looking at these organizations and pieces they put around these quarterbacks, man, to make them succeed. And for me, just my personal opinion, I'm like, Baltimore, what y'all been waiting on? Because now y'all 2 or 3 years behind. I mean, y'all letting I'm drawing another blank. Cincinnati, Joe Burrow. You saw what they did. So as soon as Joe Burrow stepped in the building, they said, boy, we about to get some pieces around you. That's exactly what we about to do. And that's all I think Lamar been saying. Lamar, like, man, if y'all give me some Joe Burrow, some Josh Allen, some Justin Herbert kind of pieces, ain't no telling how many Super Bowls we probably would have been to, let alone win.